Okay, this is a Committee of Business Development. The clerk will call the roll.
At this time, Madam Chairperson, it does seem like we do not have a
You have to
quorum,
read the
but
names of the members
that's fine. But we have Chairperson DeFlorio,
here.
Councilor Capone, Councilor Napolitano, and Councilor McKinnon.
Have we had any correspondence from either councilors?
From what I did speak with the president earlier today, and he did relay to me that he believed that Councilor McKinnon would not be able to do here. I guess I believe his wife had some type of surgery or an operation or something like that, so we may not be here at all tonight.
Okay, so the motion will be to table it until either Councilor Capone or Councilor Napolitano show up.
Okay. Motion made to table it, and we will come back in session once we have a quorum. Thank you.
Committee of Business, Community and Business Development would reconvene. The clerk will call the roll.
Councilor DeFlorio,
Here.
Councilor Capone,
Yeah?
Councilor Napolitano. We have 3 members present. We do have a quorum at this time, Madam Chairperson.
We do have a quorum. Please stand, and the audience can join us in saluting the flag. Clerk, will please read the first item on the agenda.
Madam Chairperson, item number 1 is a petition. Councilor Richard Delasola is president. The Everett City Council hereby approves the renewal for an auto body an auto body repair license with changes for Accurate Collision at 36 Mystic Street.
Council Capone.
Thank you, Madam Chairman. Could we have the petition before us?
Is the petitioner here for item number 1? If you could please sit and turn, there's a button on your mic, turn it on to the screen, and state your name and address for the record, please.
Hi, my name is Adam Haddad. I'm at 36 Mystic Street in Everett.
Okay. Thank you. Through you to our petitioner, it looks like it says with changes. What particular changes are we looking for?
Just looking for the hours to be extended.
What are the current hours now?
I believe they're 7 to 6,
And you're looking to extend them from when to when?
from 6, I think without zoning changes, from 6 till 10:30 or 11
PM?
PM, yes.
Is our city clerk around?
Yes. Could please have the city clerk up.
for us?
Sergio Cornelio, City Clerk for the City of Everett.
Thank you, Madam Chairman. Through you to our city clerk. I'm looking at this, and I know you were here, you just heard the petitioner say that he's looking to extend the hours. Is this currently up for renewal, this
Yeah,
license?
repair shops just come through me once
Okay.
they're for renewal. So he's already been approved for his current business, current hours. This is a request above and beyond, and that has to come through the City
Okay.
Council.
And are the current hours accurate, 7 to 6?
Yes,
Okay.
and he can open, our city ordinances say you need a special license or approval between the hours of 10 p.m. and 6 a.m. So it's 6 to 10 would be the longest he could open under our current ordinances,
Okay.
without getting one of those special hours licenses.
Okay. Do we have any auto body shops that are operating these hours anywhere in the city?
Not that late.
What's
Not
the latest
body
we have?
shops. I mean, we probably have some mechanical that work till 8 or 9, but those are strictly mechanical, like the gas stations with the oil changes and things like that.
Yeah.
For auto body, I would say 8 o'clock would be the absolute latest that we have currently. Most of them are between 6 and 7 o'clock.
Okay. All right, so this is, so he currently can go till 6. I can say from my own personal opinion, 10:30, 11 o'clock is way too late, I think. But that's just my own personal opinion. Business is that busy that you need to extend the hours?
It's not that it's that busy, it's that we're fighting the construction. I don't know if you know where we're located, but we're down in the heart of the casino area.
Right.
And I can't tell you how many customers don't come down during regular business hours, and I'm not looking to do work
Yeah.
necessarily, we're not trying to bang metal or do anything. It's just more for convenience for my customers and for my employees that may want to stay stay late and assemble vehicles and get the cars cleaned for delivery so customers can come in later. And it's just, we've been fighting a lot of fronts down there with the construction, the road closures and the changes in the construction equipment and the road being blocked off. So once the traffic decimates and we can have some more freedom to move around, is just why I'm looking to extend it to the 10 o'clock hour.
Okay, and I understand that. It's impacted the entire community.
Of course.
The good news is that the end is in sight.
And if I may, Counselor, I don't
Sure.
know And I don't think any of us know what that end in sight could get worse for us as far as traffic goes, you know, during the day, or I don't think any of us really know what to expect when the casino does open, what the traffic's gonna be like down there.
No, and I think it's a fair point. I'll yield the floor to my colleagues if they have any questions, and I'll speak on it after. Thank you.
Councilor Napolitano?
Thank you. You know, the thing is that we have been having discussions up here since the first of the year about the traffic issues that are going there. This situation's not going to remedy once they do the construction. Once they open the casino, we're expecting 1,000 cars. We're expecting a high volume of cars down there. It's not going to be easier for your customers again. It's going to be, in most cases, possibly even harder. I mean, I do understand. I've run my own business. I understand the needs, but you know, there aren't any. I don't believe there's any more residents living in direct.
I'm pretty much the last guy on the block.
Yeah, but you are going to be competing with the parking lots there, the traffic coming around, the traffic coming up from the back end on Robbins. You know, this isn't going to change anything. And because because they don't have set hours, the traffic's going to be coming all hours. So, and you're looking right now to stay open from, you can stay open till 6, but you're looking to stay open till what time again?
Till 10. And I'm not saying we're gonna stay open till 10 every night, but I just want that, that option, if I do wanna stay open late, if we have customers staying late, if we have work we have to get done, and like I said, you know, you can ask the fire department. We run a very, very clean operation. I believe, you know, from what the inspectors have told us, we're one of the cleanest body shops they've been in. We're not trying to, it's more for convenience for customers and employees, which I think with the extended time will help to alleviate some of those pressures coming to the shop or customers coming in.
I don't have a problem too much with extending your hours. I do have a problem till 10 o'clock. Okay? Only because of the nature of the business. If we open that door, given the number of automotive repair businesses we have, the body shops, you know, we open that door, it's going to be hard to justify not allowing Company A from getting the same thing that we're providing you. And, you know,
Due to the geographics of where we're located, wouldn't that be the exception?
well, again, this situation with casinos is going to impact more than just the line. Okay, so we're already concerned about how it's going to impact the other side of the Rotary. So, I mean, again, it's again, an argument can be made as far as that being an exception, but the other parts in close proximity, other businesses that are in the same general area could make the same arguments. I'm not sure, but, all right, thank you.
Now, you claimed that you wanted it for convenience, so you're telling us that from 6 to 10 o'clock at night, you're not going to be doing any work. Once we give you the hours, you can do whatever you want. You can bang cars, you can fix cars, you can...
Honestly, if I had a restriction that I couldn't do any loud or if it was more for just
I mean, the
convenience.
point is, I know you've gone through enough, I understand what you've gone through as far as the construction of the casino going on, but the construction's almost done. Another month, it's done.
I mean, for example, what if we want to detail cars, you know, from 6 to 10 o'clock at night for customers that may want to have that availability when the casino does open? We do offer that service, and we could, you know, we could wash cars, or we could have a service for casino patrons coming down there, because I still want to be able to utilize my business after, you know, when the casino opens and to the best of my ability. if we want to do a detail service or wash cars for customers, we would like to do that from maybe
Now-
6 to 10 at night.
Where your building is there still houses there? I'm sorry, I haven't been there for a while. Is there still around your area?
There is one house left on the opposite side to the west.
Okay. I don't have any further questions. Counselor Capone, did you?
Yeah, just one quick question to our clerk. So you've actually authorized a renewal. It's just the extended hours that we're dealing with.
Correct, yes. He's allowed to operate currently.
Sure. To the petitioner, you make a fair point. We do want to be conscientious to business in this community. The problem is that if you open the door here, as my colleague said, you do start to set a precedent. What I would prefer to do, and just so you know, before you step out, I just wanted to state what I feel. I would prefer to hold on to this for a little bit, ask some questions, talk to the fire department, take a look at what we're looking at, give this a little bit more thought, because I do hear what you're saying. And it's possible that those services may be something that might be, wanted, desired in the area at the time. So before we say yes or no, I'm going to ask my colleagues if we just grant further time on it to debate a little
This
bit
doesn't
more.
come in front of us for 2 weeks.
That's what I wanted to tell you. It's
Okay.
actually
It's
almost
not
3
on the
weeks.
agenda,
The
yeah.
13th would be the next meeting, so you do have some time, too. If you didn't want to keep it in committee and still send it out, I mean, I'm just giving you the
Yeah.
option. It's not on tonight's agenda, is what I
Okay.
want to give you. Because, a lot of times when we do the CBD, but prior, it goes on the agenda. That did not happen here.
All right,
So
so-
you have some time.
Yes, the next meeting will be the 13th. We could have another committee meeting before that, though, correct?
Yes, yep.
All right.
And you
So-
can leave that in your motion.
Yeah.
We could leave it on our
Yeah, I
committee.
think we
Well, the
should leave it with
chairperson
us
can always
instead of
call
bringing it out.
the meeting prior.
Yeah, okay. All right, I don't have any other questions, so unless there are any others, I just excuse customary
No,
time.
Oh,
excuse-
all right. I just want the committee to understand that it's, like I said, it's more for the customer and the convenience, and if we want to do some lighter auto. No, I'm not looking to bang metal and paint cars after 6 o'clock. I just want to be able to utilize my facility for what could possibly be coming around me in June, and what services certain customers may want or may need that are going to be in the area. And I think it's fair with all the traffic and all the consumers that are going to be coming down that way, that I would like to be able to utilize my facility that I spend a ton of money to be at on a monthly basis and use it to the best of my ability.
And I think we understand that.
Okay,
Okay.
Okay, so you'll get a notice of when our next meeting will be.
okay.
Okay,
great.
thank you.
so much.
Thank you for appearing. Your pleasure, Counselor.
On piece number 1, I make a recommendation that we request for the time in committee.
Second.
So I have a motion on item number 1 to request further time in committee. All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? The ayes have it. Clerk will read item number 2.
Excuse me, item number 2, Madam Chairperson, is an order by Councilor Richard Della Sola Jr. as president, in order to accept Mass General Law, Chapter 64G, Section 3DA as follows, imposing upon an operator a community impact fee of not more than 3% of the total amount of rent for each transfer of occupancy of a professionally managed unit that is located within the city of Everett.
Madam Chairman, could we suspend the rules? We'll take items 2 and 3 collectively.
Make a motion to
Second.
suspend the rules, takes item 2 and 3 collectively. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
All opposed? The ayes have it. Clerk, please read item number 3.
Item number 3, Madam Chairperson, is an order offered by Council Richard Della Sola Jr. as president, in order to accept Mass General Law, Chapter 64G, Section 3DB as follows, imposing upon an operator a community impact fee of not more than 3% of the total amount of rent for each transfer of occupancy of a short-term rental that is located within a 2 or 3 family dwelling that includes the operator's primary residence in the city of Everett.
Counsel Capone?
Thank you, Madam Chairman. Do we have someone from the administration to speak on these pieces?
The clerk.
You do have me.
Oh, okay, well, That's good.
I drafted a lot of this with the administration, so.
Okay, so through you, Madam Chairman, to our clerk, what exactly are we looking to do?
So if you remember, maybe about a month ago, we passed a new short-term rental ordinance, pretty much, the Airbnb and those type of rental. The state law, the governor allowed us to regulate them now, I think as of November or December of last year. So we created an ordinance through the ISD building department with legal and some consultation with myself also. We discussed, we wrote a new ordinance. In there is a community impact fee which is allowed to be placed on these short-term rentals. As you know, we have a 6% fee that goes on all hotel, motel, bed and breakfast. That also includes the short-term rental. That 6% fee is there also. But there is an added 3% fee, up to 3% fee, that the administration was looking to put on. That money goes directly back to affordable housing. So it was the mayor's thoughts that we could do anywhere from 1% to 3%, and then whatever percentage we did, you have to do a minimum of a third of that percentage to go back to affordable. He chose to put in that we'd get the largest amount, the 3%, and all 3% would go back to affordable housing, because that is the biggest complaint in the community lately. People feel that we need some more affordable housing. This money gets paid directly to the municipality. It does not go through the DOR like the 6% does. This money will be paid monthly, or however I think we're going to build a policy with the CFO to figure out how it's going to be paid, if it's monthly or quarterly. The money would go back directly into the city's coffers, and it will be specifically spent and put into this fund. But the only way that we can do it, though we put it in the ordinance, you have to accept these Massachusetts general laws. And these are the two. One is for pretty much residential units, in essence, and the other one is for commercial units. So we need a favorable vote from the Everett City Council, so that way we can accept it, the mayor can sign it, and we can put it on the books.
Okay. In short term, what are we talking in terms of short term? Anything less than your typical?
Short-term rentals, yeah, usually less than 30 days. It's not quite a lodging house, but it's those nightly type fees. It's very similar to a hotel or motel, but now they're called, the smaller ones are called Airbnb, but we just use the word short-term rental because Airbnb is a trademark name.
Yep. And I do remember at the council meeting, there was a discussion about this going to affordable housing, and it reminded me of a question I asked when we were talking about the percentage of affordable housing when you had developers coming in.
Mm-hmm.
At that time, I asked a member of the administration, are we responsible for any housing as a community in the city? At the time, they didn't think we were. And then I said, are we going to be getting into the real estate business now? Are we going to start developing affordable housing? Because there was some discussion about setting up a trust, and the money was going to go in the trust. But if we didn't have any obligation to maintain public housing as a community,
Right.
and if we weren't going to actually get into the business of developing houses, that money's just sitting in a pocket going nowhere, doing nothing.
Yep.
So I don't have a concern about regulating the Airbnbs and that stuff. I do have a concern about putting money, earmarking money for affordable housing where it really isn't doing anything.
Yeah, and I, don't quote me, so
Yep.
I would check with the administration. So this is, again, not on the agenda tonight, so we can discuss it on the 13th, so we'll have some time for the administration to come up. But if I remember in preliminary talks with the attorneys, the money goes into the fund, but it goes, not that the city has to build affordable housing.
Yeah.
From what I remember, the money goes to affordable housing, meaning people that want to build units. It's an incentive to build more, but this money's going back into affordable housing that way. It's helping reduce rents or the construction costs or things of that nature, I believe. So I would definitely have the administration before you to explain it a little more in depth, because that is a little above what I remember. But I do know that we are allowed to do it, and that the administration wanted to try to find a way to help as much as we could. And the state, the governor added this in. This is a new amendment that just
Sure.
passed months ago. So other communities are starting to do it.
No, and I understand that. That's something that I'd have to have a little bit more clarification on before I could move forward. But I'll yield the floor in case my colleagues have any questions. Thank you very much.
You're very welcome.
Councilor Napolitano, do you have a question?
Thank you. So how many B&Bs are affected? How many businesses does this, would this apply to currently in the city of Everett?
Currently we have none licensed, because the license just came into fruition a few weeks ago. So I'm in the process of licensing Airbnbs.
And how many
with Sonoma.
applications have we had
We've,
since
we've had
licensing?
3 or 4 people come in and pick up applications, but we know of roughly 60 properties that I know of by going on Airbnb and the other short-term rental units right away that have been operating for the last couple of years, because there have been no regulations. So there was, we couldn't regulate them. They were allowed to operate.
Are those businesses grandfathered, or are they?
Nope.
Okay, so
The gov-
that would
the-
apply to them?
Yep, everyone's
And
getting
how
a
do you
letter
plan
from
to
the clerk's office.
document those, address those businesses?
I'm sorry, repeat that.
How would you go about licensing or reaching out to those businesses?
So we're doing direct mail at the moment, making sure we do certified mail to send out the application, give them a chance with a letter in there stating the new requirements. The ordinance will be attached in there explaining everything with a phone number to call or come back into City Hall if they have any questions to discuss, like we do with most applications.
And how much revenue is this anticipated to collect?
I don't have an exact, because I don't know how much they're getting. They're getting from anywhere from $50 a night to $250 a night in the city of Everett for a room, or it depends on the type of unit also. If they're renting the whole unit, if they're renting rooms where they're sleeping in another room and renting one of the other bedrooms. So it's a variable. But figure if there's 60, there's probably closer to 100 if they're rented every night at a minimum of $50 a night. Times, 365 days a year. What's that math? 15,000. I don't know. Could be a couple $1 million brought in from the businesses, and we get a percentage, 6% of that, and the other 3% goes back to the affordable housing. So.
And right now, there's no mechanism in place for this money to be utilized for affordable housing?
Right now, we cannot get the 3% unless we accept those 2 general laws. You have to accept
Right.
the 2 general laws, and then once we do,
Right, but what I'm getting at is that once we accept it, there's still no mechanism in place for how that money is going to be spent to encourage affordable housing. Is that correct?
at the moment, not that I know of, correct.
Okay, so, I mean, I'm not comfortable with passing something that allows us to collect money when we don't have any money for that money, we don't have any means for that money to be disseminated out for its purpose. If there was a mechanism in place, a structure, a presentation, but we don't have any of that. We just have a change in the ordinance to say that we can impose a fee. We're not 100% clear how much that total will end up being, but we're going to collect it, but we're not sure how we're going to spend it. I have a problem with that. It doesn't, I mean, I would like to see a mechanism in place from the administration telling us how that money is going to be utilized and in what manner. Because again, if it's 15,000, you're throwing that into a $1 million project. It's a drop. It's not a huge thing. And again, we're guessing because we don't really know how it's going to be applied. There is nothing in place.
Correct. We also have no licensees at the moment, so
But we have
this is
applicants.
totally, yeah, but they've
And
just started.
And we have a documentation of X amount of residents in the community that utilize this type of, that run this type of service that we would be anticipating collecting money from?
Preliminary numbers that we just started looking on the web the last few months, correct? The former city clerk had started this process a few years ago, and we weren't sure that we could regulate them, but now with the governor signing the law, we felt more comfortable pushing this forward to regulate Airbnb. Prior cities were regulating them, but there was no state law that allowed it, so we were waiting for some teeth. So that's when we really ramped up efforts to regulate short-term rentals.
But while that was occurring, again, there was no effort made to determine how, to identify how this money would be disseminated.
This was found afterwards. This is new, so we at first didn't even realize that there was a community impact, well, at least I didn't know there was a community impact fee. I knew that the 6% could be collected just as a hotel, motel, bed and breakfast. That much I was aware of.
All right, thank you.
You're welcome.
So the recommendation would be to keep it into committee or
Probably
send
have
it
the
out to a
administration.
committee as a whole, because there's a lot of questions. We
Yeah.
can't vote on something that we don't know what's really in front of us. So whatever this body wants to do, I'll take the motion. Excuse, yes, thank you.
Second.
So we're going to lay it over in committee. All in favor? Yep,
Aye.
I do have a second. All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? The ayes have it. Make a motion to adjourn. Have a second? All in favor? All opposed? You have adjourned.